This week's podcast brought to you by the Beefy Bois, three cool dudes hanging out talking about music, video games, and sports, and anything else that hits our fancy.
Check them out at www.beefybois.com or on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you love their logo, you can buy their merch, www.cafepress.com/beefyboismerch1.
And oh, baby, you know you're going to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Find us on Twitter at Beefy_Bois. And you can find us on Instagram at official Beefy Bois, because it is official. Make us blue check marked, keep following us, and you can find us on Facebook at the Beefy Bois. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Beefy. A good podcast requires a good beer. So that's why I always go to my go-to, Keystone Light. If I'm going to the store, I don't want to buy a 12-pack. I want to go for a legit 15-pack. When I go to a party, I don't take Rainier. I take Keystone Light. And you know what? It tastes so good, I'm going to have it right now. Cheers, folks. Yeah, there's a burp coming in. That's good.
What up, knuckleheads? Welcome to episode 121 of the Beefy Bois Bud Club. I'm Joe, and I'm joined here with Christian.
What is up?
And
We're back
Vito.
at it again.
Hey.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been 3 weeks. It's our longest hiatus. Unplanned. We just, I don't know. It's COVID. The weather's bad. Everyone's sad. Contemplative. World's going to shit. Everyone's burnt out, man. I'm telling you, man.
Well, the weather was hella nice for like the last 2 weeks.
It was too hot. It was so hot.
Really? I thought it was nice. I thought it was perfect.
We thought about putting the air conditioner in the window, but then we were like, no, because it's gonna get cold.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the heat turned back on today because it's fucking cold.
Yeah, we're back in that like weird April slump of weather that we're gonna have. But then I think in like 2 weeks we'll be back to Washington Spring, where it's allergy city, which are killing me right now, by the way.
Yeah, me too, man. We gotta get that Nase. Do the Flonase. Although I always feel awkward because, like, I've been my cats, my teenage cats have decided that like they don't want to engage in play when we want them to. They want to make their own rules. So it's very much like 3:30 to 4 a.m. is when they want to sprint around the house. So
yeah, for sure.
That's always good. So I've been sleeping in a lot. So like I have to be on camera at 9:15 for class. So I'll roll out of bed at like 8:45, and then I'll be slowly waking up, and then it'll hit me. So I feel weird, like squirting the Flonase in my nose. Like, guys, I'm not doing anything untoward here. It's literally just medicine. Like, relax, so I don't sneeze on y'all.
Put your shit on in the middle of class. You gotta put that
squirt.
in your nose.
Yeah.
Oh man, God, yeah. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks since we've gotten together and bullshitted.
I don't even think you were on the last episode, man. I think it's been like 6 weeks since we saw you.
Has it really? No way.
You weren't on the last one. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. You were on the one before. So 4 weeks. The last time we all podcasted together was March 28th.
Wow. Holy shit.
That was crap. Before my car broke down. I had to go. I have another emergency dentist appointment. It's just like a series of dentist appointments. This was a root canal that took 3 sessions to fix, which was the worst.
Oh, yeah. God, that sounds terrible, dude.
My dentist burnt the shit out of my lip when he was doing it. I'm like, ow.
Dude, that sounds fucking horrible.
I got the temp crown on now, finally. And it's settling in nicely. Get the perm in a few weeks and be good to go. Yeah.
I got my car fixed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in the recent event. So I guess I haven't been on since my car's been fixed. Because it got fixed at the first week of April.
One moment.
The hell is that?
The fuck was that?
It sounded like he was about to spontaneously start doing an ad.
Apologies. The Bluetooth speaker behind me was still connected to my wife's phone from yesterday, and she's playing some mobile game. And that's what that piano riff was from.
Was it from the game itself or an ad?
It was an ad. Yeah, it was an ad. She turned
See,
the sound.
I told you, it sounded like an ad. It sounded like you're about to start like doing a fucking ad in the show.
Nope, it was some mobile game ad. Yeah. Oh. Ari gets really into, like dorky mobile games on her tablet or whatever. And since it's tied into my Amazon account, every time she like downloads one, it comes through as an Amazon purchase. So sometimes I freak out. I'm like, who's buying Amazon stuff? And it's like, you downloaded like Best Fiends or whatever dorky ass mobile game she's downloading. Oh, I give her a hard time.
That's funny.
Sometimes. She's like, you can't make fun of my dorky mobile games. I'm like, okay, but it's so easy. Ugh. So you're fully vaccinated, huh, Vito? I'm jealous.
Yep.
I got my first shot 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. I went to one of those drive-through clinics. I didn't even have to get out of my car.
Really? They gave it to you from the car?
Yeah. Just roll down the window.
Fuck yeah.
And then they make you wait in the parking lot for 10 minutes, and then you leave.
Oh, for side effects?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got my second appointment in 2 weeks. I was planning to not skip the line, but then I had some inside information that I should probably just skip the line because they were worried it was going to be a disaster on the 15th when it opened for everyone. So I got it on like the 12th. I skipped the line by like 3 days. I just lied. I said I still worked at the grocery store. They didn't like double check or anything. I'm torn because there's places like Texas or even like in the Spokane area where they can't get people to take the shot. Or like Michigan is blowing up and Michigan is throwing away thousands of doses because people just won't come get the shot. I'm like, can you just give it to us so we can like go back to normal? Because we want it. Ugh. It's so frustrating. Just get your shots, people. Just suck up.
Well, for
and
us,
get
it's
your
not
shots.
just the shots themselves, but we don't have enough people to apply the shots as well.
Yeah, I know.
Like from what I heard from my friend who actually works the place, is that they're not actually in a shortage of shots. They actually just need more people to actually work it in order to actually get more shots done in a day, kind of thing.
Well, that's pretty fucked up too. Just hire more people then.
Well, in order to do shots, you actually have to be trained and certified. So
Yeah, but we have the whole Swedish system in Harborview and Seattle Children's. There's nurses aplenty around here. I know a few dozen myself. I mean,
it's actually mostly MAs that do it. But
is it?
Yeah. The only reason I couldn't do it is my certification still hasn't gone through.
Really?
Yeah, like 4 months out from when I got everything sorted.
Is
Because they're
that
just so behind.
a paperwork thing for them, or that sucks?
Yeah, it's literally just waiting for the state.
What do you remind me? When I graduated college, I couldn't get my diploma processed for the longest time, to the point where like I almost had to like stop training 10 days into the 21-day training session because like we can't confirm that you've graduated. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Turned out I had never acknowledged the like financial literacy paperwork that I owed the University of Maine like $45. Can I just pay this bill so you can release my fucking transcript, for Christ's sake? Like, Jesus Christ. Oh.
Yeah, I even called the fucking people too.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no, we just haven't like received it yet. I'm like, oh, so I should tell my people to make sure that they've sent it or whatever, right? And he's like, no, they've sent it. We just haven't received it yet. And I'm like, okay, so how long is it going to be? Oh, at least several weeks.
At least several weeks?
Yeah,
Send an email?
after it had already been 4 months.
Jesus.
So like, yeah.
That sucks. Ugh. That reminds me of an Amazon.
Yeah, apparently the doctors that are doing the shots too, like they don't get paid. But like the other volunteers do.
Doing it out of kindness of their heart.
I guess so, yeah.
Well, doctors make a fucking ridiculous amount of money, so.
I mean, that's not true.
What? Yeah, it is. I looked it up.
They make a ridiculous amount of money, but they also are massively, massively, massively in debt.
Well, because, yes, that's true.
And so they don't actually make that much money, and they don't actually make that much of a ridiculous amount of money unless they're surgeons, because that's where like most of the money comes in.
No, I looked it up, man. The Seattle GP averages $130K. That is the median income for a GP in Seattle. I looked it up.
Yeah, but that's not like that's not like a massive amount for a doctor, though.
That's a lot of money.
Especially if
Dude,
you're
130K is.
I mean, you have to go into fucking hundreds and thousands of fucking dollars in debt, and then also the like maybe like 100,000 or whatever is good for like somebody who's not in debt, but and then they have to upkeep all their education and stuff too, so they have to spend money in order to be a doctor. It's like saying teachers make too much.
No,
like, no,
I'm not saying they make too much. I'm saying they make a lot. I looked it up because my the neighbors had a kid and they're always buying fancy shit. I'm like, how can they afford all this stuff? She isn't working. I'm like, well, how much does he make? He's a doctor. Let me look it up. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm working in pediatrics, and like the doctors there don't really make a lot of money. Like the clinic makes money off of like the one doctor who does fucking plastic surgeries and shit.
Yeah. Wait, plastic surgeries on children?
No, so there's a pediatrics department, which is like the main part of it.
Okay.
And there's like the one doctor who does like plastic surgeries and stuff for like adults. But there's like a handful of adult doctors as well.
Does your pediatrics department have like whimsically painted walls and race car beds, or does it look like a regular?
You've already asked that question,
Damn
and
it.
the answer was no.
Damn it, I forgot. I was just having this discussion, but like a few weeks ago, like I told you the story. We had to take our cat.
But it's
to the
also
hospital.
a fairly new building, so it's not like super decorated or anything.
Okay,
it does have like pictures of animals on the walls, and like on the like room ID numbers or whatever. It has like the picture that's going to be on the wall on the like little thing, like a small version of it.
Like a cutesy version or like a realistic photo.
It's a realistic photo, but they're like butterflies, ladybugs, and stuff.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's cute. I pictured, by the way, so when my cat was in the hospital, I pictured that. I imagined in my head for some reason an animal hospital was like a people hospital where like each dog or cat has their own like private room.
Oh, that's funny.
Like I was like, that's definitely not how it is. It's definitely like a wall of kennels, and I'm like, oh my god, that makes so much more sense. Oh. I'm just trying to picture like an animal hospital, but like, there's visiting hours for the animal, and every animal has their own room and private nursing service. Call it the rich people animal hospital. Too funny. Too funny. What else is new, team?
You boys check out Mortal Kombat?
I did not.
Damn.
I didn't even know there was Mortal Kombat coming out.
I never was into Mortal Kombat.
That shit was fun, man. That movie was a lot of fun. I mean,
computerized
blood is...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Computerized blood is... It's all right. I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to, like, legitimately, like, ramp it up to the third power. But I think they would benefit a lot from doing, like... making it feel like one of those old school movies, like where you bring in like the fucking buckets of fake blood instead of computerized blood. I think it'd be a lot better. It would go with like the cheesiness of Mortal Kombat if they did that. But in my opinion, the movie was fucking sweet. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
You weren't pissed off that Johnny Cage wasn't in it, like the rest of the internet is apparently?
I literally couldn't give two fucks if Johnny Cage was in it or not. They're going to bring him in on the second one. So it's like, what are people bitching about? But yeah, Johnny Cage will be in the second one. He's in Hollywood.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't name any. I never got into the Mortal Kombat lore. I always liked Sub-Zero, which apparently is a weenie-ass character. And it's like, no, you should play Scorpion. I'm like, Scorpion is lame. Sub-Zero is way cooler. Blue is cooler.
Sub-Zero's not a weenie. Whoever says Sub-Zero's a fucking weenie is a bum.
Sub-Zero is the best one, man. Of all the ninjas,
Sub-Zero's the shit.
One. Yeah.
I like Scorpion too, but Sub-Zero is Sub-Zero. He was also a huge piece of shit in the movie too, which was awesome. He was an awesome bad guy.
Oh, he's in the movie?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it. I don't watch movies, man. I ain't got time for that. I watched all of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it was boring as fuck, and I did not care for it.
Yeah, that shit looks boring.
Not as good.
Watch that.
It's like, oh, Sam Wilson's gonna become Captain America. Spoilers, like, we didn't need this. He took the shield at the end, and then that's the whole plot, really, of Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's like, I don't want to be Captain America. No, you gotta. I don't wanna. No, you gotta. I don't wanna. No, you gotta. Okay. There you go. There's 6 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier for you.
Oh my god, puke.
Yeah, Marvel's losing their touch. I like WandaVision though.
I think so. I think the world got hit with some Marvel fatigue there, and then I think Marvel blew their load with like Endgame, and now I think that they're just like kind of in like a let's just push out as much content as possible. Because we're Marvel.
I feel like
so now it just seems like everything that's coming out is like boring ass series and TV shows and shit.
I think they really hit their stride with like Guardians and Guardians 2 and Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
And like it's really been downhill since.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I'd have to say that those were like their better movies. I think the Guardian series and then the
Infinity War is better than Endgame. Endgame just has too much going on. There's just too much happening.
I agree 100%.
And Captain Marvel was boring as fuck. That movie is so boring.
Captain Marvel? Yeah, that movie sucked.
Yeah. I like Spider-Man. I like both the Spider-Man movies, but they barely feel like Marvel movies. Just teen movies. I really did not expect spoilers for Spider-Man Homecoming. I really did not expect the Vulture to be his date's dad. That was quite the shock to me. Michael Douglas was your dad, huh?
Michael Keaton.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Michael Keaton. I did appreciate, like, they answered pretty much all the questions I had about what happened for the time snap in the beginning of the second one. Like, some of us disappeared for 5 years. Some of us did not. You know, my younger brother is now older than me. Like, okay, so like time did pass, just not for you, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like when it came to fucking Endgame, they were just like, let's take 3 hours of everybody's time and then shit out as much content as we can in one movie. I was just like, holy
they
shit.
had to wrap up the saga. That's going to be, I feel like that's always the problem when you have these long, expansive series. That's why, like, the last season of Game of Thrones was disappointing. Like, the ending of Lost was such a meme for how bad it was. Like, it's really hard to wrap up these expansive story plots all at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I feel like more people need to take the anime approach where you never wrap it all up. You're just always adding more and more. And then sometimes you explain stuff away, but you're never done. There's always more.
Then, I mean, with Game of Thrones, there were so many fucking plot holes and so many things that they had originally set up earlier in the series that they completely, like, acted like it didn't even exist. You know, it was just like, that now that's just, like, never happened.
Yeah.
Sorry, that like never happened. It's like, well, what the fuck is this, man? This is like they spent like 3 episodes like 5 seasons ago building something up, and then now it's just like, we forgot that we did that, and now it doesn't exist anymore.
When can you think of was a time that a sprawling saga like that had a satisfying conclusion?
Yeah, I can't.
Exactly.
I can't, and I don't expect it. Right. I mean, at that point, you just don't expect it. Like
Rise of Skywalker is hands down the worst Star Wars movie. I will die on that hill. Okay, Attack of the Clones might give it a run for its money, but Rise of Skywalker is a terrible film.
Was that the third one out of the new ones?
Yes.
Yeah, those new movies were fucking terrible.
No way. Holy Last Jedi's top 2 Star Wars movies. That movie's great.
No.
That movie's great. That movie is great. With Flying Princess Leia, yep, that scene was cheesy. The rest of that movie's great. And then they just totally retcon it in the next one. Like,
I think the only good Star Wars movie that has come out recently was Rogue One. I think that was like the only one. And I think that Rogue One was awesome because they did that shit as a suicide mission and they actually got fucked. Like, if they got out of it and lived, I would have been like, this is dumb.
That was pretty epic because it's like they might actually survive, and then Darth Vader shows up and he just, in like 90 seconds,
fucks everything up. Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. You never really get to see him being a badass before that, you know?
And I was just kind of like, okay, they did that really well. I was like, there's like, consequences to doing what you needed to do, and they knew it. Like, the whole time in the movie, they're like, hey, if we do this mission, we're going to fucking die. And they're like, well, let's do it. And sure enough, they did that, and then they die. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe they fucking pulled that off.
I was waiting when I saw that movie because I was half drunk. I had like just started dating Ara, and it was that we were in that time when it's like, are we dating or not? Who knows? And Colin's like, let's not think about that. Let's go to the movies. Like, okay. And it was like the movie theater you could drink at. So we were like half drunk, and we were just waiting for that line from the trailer when she says, I'm a rebel, I rebel. And they cut it. It's not in the movie. And I'm like, where was that line? I've been waiting for it this whole time. Like, oh.
Yep. Welcome to the world of cinematic teasing you, playing with your balls a little bit and then zipping up your jeans.
And he just cut the whole line. It's crazy.
But I thought that was like the one good Star Wars movie that's
I still haven't seen Solo.
Solo was a piece of shit. That movie was so garbage. Dude, I'm like, Star Wars was a thing that did not need to come back. It didn't need to make a comeback. And
I had hope. I had hope after the first one. I thought the first one was a little fan servicey. The first, number 7, whatever you want to call it. Force Awakens. I'm like, they could do something cool here. And then the next one was like, all right, this is different. I like this. But the fan backlash was so bad that they're just like, fuck it. We're going back to the fan service model from before. Oh, man.
Yeah, it just garbage. Absolute trash. And Solo's fan service too. And then it's just like, it's a movie that nobody asked for, and it's a movie that nobody gave a fuck about. And then they're just like, oh, here's Han Solo for you. It's like, nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this. Nobody cares.
When they announced their plans, it was going to be like 10 years of a Star Wars movie every year, alternating between side stories and main content. And then after Solo and Rise of Skywalker will bomb, they're like, all right, we're not gonna. They haven't done one since, and that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
they're not even talking about doing one. I mean,
they put a lot of resources into Mandalorian, and it showed because the Mandalorian was legit.
Yeah, the Mandalorian was good. Good old Baby Yoda.
They'll find a way to ruin it. I can guarantee you that. But it was good for the first and second season. The ending of season 2 was cheesy and dumb, but
you didn't like. I still don't. I don't like that. I guess the spoilers for the end of Mandalorian season 2. Why is the Skywalker family like the only people who can do anything in the Star Wars universe? Like, it's supposed to take place over an entire galaxy. Like, there couldn't have been any other Jedi to come pick them up. It had to be Luke.
Yeah,
like, come on.
It's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just like they pick dumb shit like that. And then they, like, ram it down your face.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, oh, God, this is so dumb. But, God, whatever.
The video games are still fun. They had a YouTube, I don't know if they still did, but they had a YouTube kids show, which was starred the guy who did the mocap for Jar Jar Binks. And it was basically Legends of the Hidden Temple, but, like, Star Wars themed, that I watched for a little while. So they have to like complete obstacle courses and Star Wars based trivia. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I have a sports related question for you, Christian.
Yeah, what's up?
Last night in the UFC, did some like terrible injury or something happen?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Dude, holy shit.
Like compound leg fracture through the skin type deal? Is that what happened? I'm not gonna look it up, but
it was one of the grossest things I have ever fucking seen in my life. It may have been like the nastiest thing I've ever seen on live TV. So it's just weird how this worked. So the pay-per-view started, and the first fight came out. And these dudes are fighting, and it's a good fight. They've got some strong jabs. And this dude throws a leg kick. And this is the first fight of the pay-per-view, by the way. We haven't even gotten to the point that you asked about.
Yeah.
So Anthony Smith throws a leg kick on Jimmy Crute, and it hits him like in the back of the knee, but like right on the nerve. And Jimmy Crute's leg literally just collapses and goes like completely numb. And they end the first round, and then it was a doctor stoppage because Jimmy Crute couldn't walk. He like put weight on it, and he rolled his ankle immediately, and it was just nasty. It was so gross. Then the second fight comes out, and the second fight's Uriah Hall and Chris Weidman. And so this is like the scariest thing here. When Chris Weidman fought Anderson Silva for the second time, Anderson Silva threw a leg kick, and Chris Weidman checked it and snapped Silva's leg in half.
Oof.
And like in the exact same fashion, Chris Weidman throws. It's literally 17 seconds into the fight. He threw, or like 15 seconds or whatever, because 2 seconds to end the fight. So he throws like a leg kick, and his entire leg just snaps in half, and then he puts weight on it.
Oh.
After he brings it back, and his leg collapses. And I think like the most terrifying thing was like hearing Chris Weidman scream the second he put weight. Like the second weight was put on it and he collapsed, the scream that he put out was fucking gnarly, dude. It was one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life. It made me sick. We were all watching here. It was like me, Claude, and then my buddy Tommy, and we're just fucking screaming at like the top of our lungs, man. It's just, that's your only reaction when you see something like that. You just scream at the top of your lungs because the way his leg folded and collapsed on him was so gross.
So at this point you have like, I mean, how long is a round? 3 minutes? You have 3 minutes and 15 seconds of fighting and 2 broken legs? Okay.
The rounds are 5 minutes.
Okay.
So but in the first fight, Anthony Smith kicked Jimmy Crute with like a minute left in the round.
Okay.
And so Jimmy Crute took Anthony Smith to the ground and was wrestling with him. And then after the round was over, the doctor stopped the fight. He was like, you can't walk on it, so we're done. And then, the second Chris Weidman threw that leg kick and fell on the ground, Uriah Hall didn't even chase after him. Uriah Hall like got on the ground and was like devastated, man. He was devastated. Didn't even want to do the press. Didn't even want to do like the post-fight interview. Yeah. He was just like, that is just like, so unfortunate and so nasty. But then the title fights were great, man. The title fights were all great.
No more broken legs after that.
No more broken legs, but only fight to go into the second round. Or the no fight went past the second round last night in the main card, so it was a fast pay-per-view. But Valentina Shevchenko fucking destroyed Jessica Andrade, and Rose Namajunas fucking kicked Wei Li right in the face with like a minute into the first round and knocked her out cold. And then Kamaru Usman literally, you probably have seen the pictures of Usman knocking Masvidal's fucking sweat off of his gross fucking cornrows.
All I heard was the broken leg.
Go to ESPN on Facebook and look at the picture of Jorge Masvidal getting fucking just walloped. The punch that Usman put on him was probably one of the hardest hits I've ever seen. It was absolutely incredible. I hate Jorge Masvidal and I don't like Kamaru Usman, but man, that guy fucking has some serious power, dude. Great. It was a great way to end the night, for sure.
I heard Dana White was doing press. He was on Bill Simmons' podcast this week, and he was bragging about how they've never had a death in the ring, and he referred to UFC as the safest sport. And I'm like, can somebody call him out on that? That seems insane to me.
They haven't had anybody like die from.
Okay, sure, I'll give him that, but to refer to yourself as safe in any way when literally people break their limbs all the time.
It's not safe at all.
Yeah,
but but it is safer than boxing, that's for sure. I mean, it's a lot safer than boxing. More boxers, there's too many boxers that are dying these days. But the one thing that was really going to get the UFC was when they weren't hydrate testing athletes and they were cutting weight. So they would they would cut 25 pounds in 2 days. Yeah. And then they started testing, hydrate testing athletes. And now less and less athletes are getting put in the hospital, which is good. But before then, dude, fucking fighters were going in and out of the hospital left and right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Ugh.
But yeah, it's what a great night last night for UFC. Full crowd was back in attendance, so it was
outside of the 2 broken legs.
Yeah, unfortunately. Those are just so unfortunate, man. I hate seeing injuries like that. Oh, man. Like the Jimmy Crute leg kick is more of a standard. You get kicked in the nerve, and it just happens every once in a while. But the legs snapping in half for Weidman, and then the way he put weight on it on the back. Oh, my God.
I'm not going to look it up. I can just picture it.
Whew, man.
Gross. What else is new? Let's see. You been playing any games, team? Any new
They put out MLB the Show on Xbox Game Pass. So
have you played it?
I've been thinking about downloading it because I want to play it.
The Road to the Show mode is usually pretty fun. That's where you control one player. And that mode works well in a baseball game, better than it does in a football game, for example, because baseball is such an individualistic sport.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I was super excited for build your own ballpark, but you have to have a PlayStation to do that. And it's just really, this is so dumb.
That's weird.
Making something exclusive like that when you're putting it out on all platforms.
Sony developed this game, which is why it's so weird. They didn't have a choice though. MLB said they were going to revoke the license. It's crazy.
It makes sense, man. People want to play the game, and if it's I think console exclusives is just a stupid idea.
Well, the thing is, they don't have an exclusive license. Anyone can make a baseball game. 2K has been allowed to make baseball games for a decade. They stopped because they're bad at it, and no one was buying them. I mean,
I think the show has been. It's the number one baseball game for sure.
It has been. For
it's the only one. Yeah.
They put one of them on PS Plus, I think a year or two ago, and I played it for a little bit. It's still the same game I played 10 years ago, back when I was into baseball, but it's fun. Yeah. I made my first baseman. I tried to make an outfielder. They converted him to first base, and I got mad at the manager, so we had to have a chat in his office, do your mini games, improve your contact and power, and, all
I was thinking about setting it to download after we're done here on the show. There you go. Set it to download and clean up the house a little bit.
I have a Game Pass subscription now.
I got somebody coming over. Oh yeah?
Game Pass for PC, yeah.
Nice.
How
do you like it?
On there. I mean, it's so cheap. It's so cheap and easy. It's
I'll never buy a new release. I don't think I'll ever buy a new release.
Because they're all on Game Pass?
Because new releases are just starting to get thrown on Game Pass. It's so smart.
I know.
People who are,
did you play Outriders? That was on Game Pass.
I haven't played that.
Oh. Outriders is really good. I really liked it. But I stopped playing it because my fucking character broke.
Yeah, they have some serious character deletion issues, but
my I can every time I log into my character, it kicks me out of the game.
It plays like Gears of War, but it's got the Destiny loot system in it, so you can repeatedly play it.
But the gameplay is really fun, and the story was pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's a cover shooter that encourages you to not just hide behind cover the whole time. Like, you really got to get up in the enemy's faces because it's the only way you can restore health is to kill things in specific ways. It's pretty cool. Although it's annoying that it was only free on Game Pass for console. It was not PC Game Pass free, which is stupid. Been thinking about getting back into MMOs, specifically Final Fantasy 14 once again.
Yep, I caught all back up on Final Fantasy. It's still really fun. And I also, because WoW just got really boring on retail, have converted some of our guildmates to come to Final Fantasy.
Oh, wow. Expand the Final Fantasy 14 team, huh? Mm-hmm. Is your wife still playing at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, she went back too.
Cute. I gotta get
I'm still rating in Classic. We're 10 out of 15 bosses down in next Ramus right now.
Yeah, I see you're playing WoW Classic right now. You and Tim, most likely. Nope, Tim's not online.
Yeah, I feel like with Final Fantasy 14, there's not much to do that is super passive.
Yeah.
But leveling or gathering herbs and stuff in WoW Classic is something I can do that's productive for the game.
Yeah, that's pretty.
While
that's
also
pretty
being super passive.
Interactive in Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I used to do, by the way, back to MLB the Show. When I was trying to level my gathering classes, when I was playing on my MacBook, I would go to the gathering node. Or no, I'm sorry, this was when I was trying to level crafter classes. I would go to wherever it was, like the restoration area in Dragon Town. I can't remember the name of it. I would set myself to craft 99 leather circles or whatever, and then I would just turn to my right and play a round of MLB The Show while he did the auto crafting thing, and then I would come back and manage my inventory and, do both of them at once. It was so much fun. My wife's like, and when I was leveling gatherers, she's like, are you literally just collecting corn? I'm like, yeah, you got to get the corn, then you turn it into cornmeal, and that's how the easiest way to level your culinarian. Like, Joe, this is ridiculous. No, this is video games, babe. I get back into the crafting game. I like leveling the crafters. It's, fun. I'm gonna get back into it. There's it's such a. I'm worried. This is a dead zone for video games, right? I have no interest in Resident Evil Village or Returnal, which comes out next week, which is this is PS5 showcase. I'm like, oh, it's a third-person horror game. I really don't care about it, So
I think Resident Evil is going to be fun. I saw the gameplay video of it. It looks really they made it look really nice.
Do you want to fuck the vampire lady? Are you one of those people? Do you want her to step on you?
I saw the comments on that shit. I was laughing so fucking hard when I was reading those. They're talking about her big ass. They're like, damn.
Somebody did the math because she's 9 feet tall. It's like, you do not want her to step on your chest. She would immediately collapse it.
Yeah, there's no lies, man. She's thick as fuck. But still gonna fucking shoot the hell out of that thing.
She apparently stalks you the whole time like Mr. X or Nemesis did. So, great. I'm never going to play that game. I hate horror games. They're too spooky.
I've played and finished Resident Evil 7. That game was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I have it. I think about it. But
that game was spooky, man. Woo, that game was spooky.
I tried to play Resident Evil 2 Remake, and it wasn't even that it was so spooky. It was just I couldn't get past the gore. It was too gory, too spooky. No thanks, not my thing.
You're not a gore head?
No. I don't want to see a guy cut in half by a security door, his intestines coming out. No, it's gross. It's gross. No, I came up in the time of the T-rated shooters where you would shoot a guy in the head and they would just fade away because blood would get them an M rating. No,
No, I'm definitely a gore fanatic.
Yeah. Nope, not I. So I've been playing 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, which is an extremely Japanese game, and I was worried that it was going to be one of these anime games with like boobs that are cartoonishly large and skirts that are too short, and it has a little bit of that, but it's mostly just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's hand-drawn backgrounds in a 2D plane, visual novel, combined with like a real-time strategy mechs versus giant aliens game. But the storyline is so twisty and turny, and like it's honestly some of the best science fiction in a long time. And it starts so cliched. Like you're following the story of these 13 high school kids, and you play through each of their stories individually, but they're all like interconnected, and they all start like, one of them is basically Terminator, one of them is basically E.T., but then like it all comes together, and it's not at all what you think it is, and it is. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, I need someone else to play this game so we can talk about all this crazy shit that's happening. Oh, it's a Vanillaware game, so it's very pretty. It's very pretty, hand drawn.
So what's the game called again?
13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. Let's look up 13 Sentinels. Although, it's not going to... YouTube videos are not going to do it justice because it's basically a visual novel. So, like, right. Oh, look, more text on the screen. Like, okay. Oh. Well, very twisty-turny, time travel-y plot. I can't stop playing it. I'm almost done with it, though. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I going to play? Yeah, I could go back. I could get back into Civ 6. I intentionally tore myself away. I'm like, I'm playing too much Civ, man. I gotta play
well, there you go.
Else. I gotta play something else. I like Civ, but like it's very much like if I bump the difficulty level up too high, I don't have a good time because I don't win. If I bump it down too low, it's too easy. And finding that perfect sweet spot is such a hassle, you know?
Yeah.
And I've won in every mode of victory except for the religious victory, which I was like halfway there when I gave up on my run as Russia. Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing is just scouring through Xbox Game Pass, finding something else to play. Maybe I'll install Factorio. I hear that one's pretty good from Steam. I'm trying to keep myself to like, sim type games like Civ or, those style strategy games that really control best with the mouse and keyboard and away from console style games because I'd rather play them on my PS5. But that's just me. That's just me. Are you still playing Valheim, or is the Valheim train done? I haven't heard much about it in the past few weeks.
Well, I just, started playing other crap again. So it's not that I don't, I still enjoy playing it, but I didn't play single player, so I don't, it's not one of the games that I just go and play. And then, there haven't been as many people on it around to do stuff. Because I don't really like doing things in the game by myself. It's not as fun. If we're gonna go on our boat and go fucking scouting for a place to go kill and loot some shit, then that's really fun.
I see. Cool. Other than that, yeah, not a lot interesting going on around here. Cats being cats. We're planning a trip. I got my second shot in 2 weeks, and then you wait the 2 weeks to ensure incubation period and everything. That means I should be ready to go by mid-May. Ara can't wait. Ara's already done. She's had her second shot. She's out in the world. She's going to thrift shops and stuff. I'm so jealous. Ugh. I can't wait to eat at a restaurant again,
It's pretty nice, man.
Oh. Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Yep. All right.
Oh God, yes, man.
Oh, did you see, by the way, Christian, the NFL rules proposal, and then what they
I
actually
saw
ended
that.
up changing?
Yeah, I thought it was funny that Tom Brady's losing his marbles. Like, dude, you make fucking millions. You can deal with a number change.
He's mad about the numbers thing. Yeah, I don't understand. Why is he so mad about that?
Because linemen are going to have trouble blocking the right people, or people are going to have trouble covering the right people.
They'll figure it out.
It's just one of those. They did that shit in college.
Yeah, exactly.
They did that shit in college.
So
and then I saw his quote where he said, "Yeah, you know what? Have people wear the same number on on offense and defense. Have two people wear the same number." It's like, hey,
they're wearing different uniforms, bro.
They do that. They do that in college. They wear the same fucking number. You'll have a 3 on defense and a 3 on offense.
That could happen anyway.
Yeah,
you can have a running back and a cornerback with the same number. They could have for a long time. That's stupid. What is going on in the NFL up until this year, you had very specific rules about what jersey number you could wear depending on what position you played.
So
they've
dumb.
Strictly loosened. This was not the rule in high school or college. This was only an NFL thing. And they've loosened it considerably this year so that if you play any number of positions, you can have whatever number you want. So finally, you couldn't have the numbers 1 through 10 on defense at all until this year, for example. Apparently, some people are mad that it's going to be confusing about who plays what position. Never mind that a lineman is 6'5" and 350 pounds.
Seriously, man, can you really not tell who you're playing against because of their number? 1, they're using a different uniform. 2, you can definitely tell who's who by their fucking size.
Look, the man's pushing 50, and he's been in the NFL for a long time. All right, I'm just saying, maybe he's a curmudgeonly old man at this point. All right.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's
NFL draft starts next week, doesn't it? On Thursday?
Yeah, I have no interest in it. Seahawks have no picks for the first round.
Well, if they trade Russell Wilson, maybe they'll get some. I'm still holding out hope.
Ain't gonna happen, bruh.
Yeah. People are talking what if the Giants trade down? They could get so many picks. I'm like, yo, you know when the last time the Giants traded down was? It was 2001. They've done it one time
ago.
They've done it once in the 21st century. They don't trade down. And in the Gettleman era, it's never a secret who he's going to draft. Everyone knew he was going to draft Daniel Jones. They thought it was crazy. Everyone knew he was going to draft Dexter Lawrence. He doesn't hide it. It's known. So whoever this receiver or offensive lineman is who they're going to draft because they got to protect Daniel Jones. They made a bad choice, and now they're just reinforcing that bad choice.
Did you hear that Urban Meyer sent Trevor Lawrence the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook?
No, I did not.
It's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for Trevor Lawrence to be in the league. I think that dude's a cool-ass fucker. He's a cool-ass player.
Whatever. At least the Knicks are playing well. They've won 9 in a row.
Joe Burrow is going to be coming back. Should be fun.
The one that gets me, they
Huskies have their spring game on Saturday. I'm ready for that.
The rule change that gets me, there was the proposal to change onside kicks to a 4th and 15 one-shot offensive play. And they said, no, that's too extreme. Instead, we're going to change it so that the defensive team, instead of having 10 people line up on the line, can only have 9. That's the change.
It's pretty dumb.
And it's a temporary change because they worry it's going to be too extreme. I'm like, you guys are the most conservative, not politically conservative, but the most risk-averse owners in the world.
The XFL did the onside kick rule where you had one play from the 25-yard line, you had to get 15 yards.
That's how the fan-controlled football league worked as well.
And it was legit.
Awesome. Yeah.
And it was legit. It's a cool fucking rule. I like it. I mean, it makes total sense.
Did you follow the fan-controlled football league final at all? Because that game was awesome.
No, because it was on Twitch.
What? Yeah, a free website that anyone can watch.
I don't fuck with Twitch.
Well, the team I support, the Wild Aces, was down 40 points at halftime, and they came back to win with a last-second touchdown with no time left. Pretty awesome. And yeah, the onside kick, that league is interesting because like they've had to change the rules on the fly so much. Like the onside kick rule that also was like a 4th and 15, but they're playing 7-on-7, and the defenders are so bad that like pretty much everyone would convert it every time. So they had to change the rules that you needed to be down and it needed to be the second half if you're going to try an onside kick. Because yeah, you're basically never giving the ball up. You're just oh, too funny. But yeah, that game was intense. Last second touchdown to win the game.
Nice. What team was it?
The Wild Aces.
Was that with Johnny Manziel?
No.
Oh damn. Who's the quarterback for the Wild Aces?
I can't remember his name.
Oh. Who's on that team? Anybody notable?
It was owned by Austin Eckler.
Oh, okay. Well,
there you go.
Owner's notable.
They beat the Glacier Boys, which is Richard Sherman's and Quavo's team.
Yeah. Quavo. Is it Quavo or Quavo?
It's Quavo, isn't it? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm not a big Migos fan. All right.
Oh man, that's funny. All right. I fell down the rabbit hole of MTV Unplugged concerts in the last week, and it's literally like the only thing I can listen to right now.
I'm so curious. Like, how could they do that in 2020? Like, I would love to see like.
They need to bring it back, man. MTV is too busy being fucking political and
nobody
retarded.
Nobody makes music videos anymore, man. It's not the same.
No. They're not music videos. They're live concerts.
No, I know what Unplugged was. Yeah, but like, how's that? That's not going to work in an EDM driven music environment. All right, you can't have an unplugged like Skrillex concert.
No, but there's
it doesn't make any sense.
Plenty of bands out there.
Not that rock music is dead, man.
Rock music is definitely dead because now it's just stadium rock. Like stadium rock is what rules the airwaves.
You remind me. I was telling Ara, the dentist I go to, they usually play like the worst new country, you know?
Oh,
and
yeah.
The last time I went, so I guess it changed whose turn it was to pick the music. So they had turned off the new country, but it got worse. It was new, light Christian rock. So like Christian rock, but like if it was all like by James Blunt and Amy Grant. And you know,
God.
Creed is too hard rocking for these guys.
Hey man, Creed was hard. Creed was hard. Creed was hard back in the day.
It was bad. It was so bad.
No, I think I think if they were to try to bring back Unplugged, they would have to find a way to work with new age music.
Who would you put on?
Which would be really hard. I would strictly put on like the only thing I can think of that's still alive is Southern rock. Like you can only have like Southern rock bands that come on. But the one thing that is going on right now is NPR does those tiny desk concerts.
Yes. Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, well, we thought of this idea and we do unplugged concerts." Like, fuck off. MTV had that shit back in the 90s. NPR fucking stole their bit and made it. But the thing that NPR did was they made it work, man. They made it work with like country singers, rappers, all that
punk
bullshit.
Rock bands, they get everybody on.
Punk rock, yeah, they get everybody. And like I said, NPR is focused on doing that, and it works. And they have great shows on there. And MTV is just too busy being
it's just reality
dumb.
TV. It should be called RTV now.
Yeah, they're just too busy being dumb. Like, no fucking music at all. But, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's I can't think of a rock band, honestly. Like off the top of my head.
That's the thing. I mean, like the only one I can think of is like Lady Gaga could do a fine unplugged concert because she has a fine singing voice. She went to Juilliard, like, but also
but she's not
her music
she's
transitions.
a pop singer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's a pop singer, so it's like rock band wise, dude. I'm like struggling to think of like like a legit band that I could call a rock band that's not from like the 2000s.
To be fair, I know
early
nothing
2000s.
about what kind of music is popular right now. Outside of K-pop, I'm familiar with
stadium.
K-pop.
I think stadium rock is popular right now.
Like with the youth, though. Like you mean like, are you talking like 80s stadium rock, or is there like new stadium rock bands happening?
There's like, I think that the new age stadium rock is bands like Imagine Dragons. Like, I think that's like the new idea.
Even they're
rock.
like 15 years old at this point, man.
Yeah, they are old.
That Joker and the Thief song was from like 06. Like,
They get a bad rap, man. They get a bad rap. That band's not that bad. They are not.
I don't think people think they're that bad. Yeah.
I think, dude, people love to hate that fucking band. They're like the new Nickelback.
No,
like
really?
they're like the Beam. Oh yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
For sure.
They're
not that bad of a band. They're just dumb stadium rock. Like you hear their shit at like a football game.
Yes.
And you're like, oh.
That's the first time I heard that Imagine Dragons song was in MLB the Show, like 08 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not bad. They get a bad rap though, for sure. People love to hate that band. People love to hate Nickelback, and they're like a legit rock band. They're fucking decent.
They're terrible.
Pretty good.
Look at this
They're not
photograph.
terrible.
Every time I do it, makes me laugh. I'll get out of here.
They're not terrible. You're out of your mind.
They're the worst.
They're not bad. What's so bad about them?
The music is trash. The lyrics are whiny and drivel. They're not. There's no depth to them. The guy's not a good singer, He's from that school that like Chad Kroeger, whatever the guy's name from Creed is, school is like, if I just make my voice sound like Batman, everyone thinks I could sing. Like, no, we don't.
Chad Kroeger is the lead singer of Nickelback.
That's what I thought. Then who's this guy from Creed? What's his name?
What's his Scott something? God, what is it?
Sure.
I can't remember. I remember because he was on tour sleeping in a van like a couple years ago. I remember like God, what is his name?
I thought Chad Kroeger was from Nickelback. I don't know, man. I don't listen to that music.
Yeah, I pull it up on Google and I pull up Creed lead singer, and the first thing that pulls up is Creed lead singer homeless. Let's see. Scott Stapp.
I see it. Is.
Scott Stapp. Yeah.
The second one is Creed lead singer dead. So
I know, I saw that too.
Oh man.
Dude, I don't know. There's just that time frame of rock music is untouchable. When you have like, bands like Creed, you have bands like POD.
That's another Christian rock band,
Yeah, for sure.
Two.
And then you have fucking God, who else? Puddle of Mud
with 2 Ds. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember. That was also, well, I guess that was like shortly after the Limp Bizkit Korn era.
Yes, it was. It was like 2005-ish. And then you had like 30 Seconds to Mars with Jared Leto, Blue October. There was a lot of fucking decent rock bands in the early 2000s, and that era just completely died.
Yeah.
Completely died.
Yeah.
Like in a heartbeat.
We switched back to bubblegum pop with Katy Perry and Taylor Swift and
I hate it,
Gaga,
man.
and then now it's just all, I don't even know. Like I said, I don't
would
think
say
EDM
that
is where it is right now. I feel like that was 5 or 6 years ago, but who knows?
EDM's on its limbs. I think it's on its last limbs.
Yeah.
Because that whole EDM scene is in their late 20s, early 30s.
Well, and the whole scene
and you're not
going to
go and like you're not
going to
go. Yeah, you're not going to go fucking do a bunch of drugs and stand in a hot fucking building when you're 30 years old.
Nobody's like, wait, let me put on some music for dinner, and they're just blasting fucking Skrillex. And get out of here.
I think that there's like a lot of good electronic music. There's a lot of really good electronic music, but I think the rave scene is dying. I think that that's the next one to go completely. which it was around in the 90s with like Prodigy and shit, and then it died, and then it came back with like this new age, you know, electronic shit in the early 2010s, and then now it's just dwindling. Last legs, man.
I think EDM's going to go the route of metal and just never die.
No, it won't ever die, but I think the scene is more or less like, I think like the days of like Freak Night and Lucky and all that bullshit is dead. Like, I think if you're going to go see EDM, it's going to be more of like a concert now rather than you go there to like finger blast a random girl and then take a bunch of drugs.
You're saying the days of Skrillex being the headliner.
I mean, I feel like that scene is what EDM is. Like, I don't think they'll be able to escape that, you know?
Yeah.
I think that the more it evolves, the more that EDM matures, the more it like evolves the crowd. I think it's a different scene now. Compared to where it was 10 years ago, I think it's a whole different scene now.
I think it's the same scene, but with people who are older and younger still, because there's so much like variety in EDM. Like it's you can do basically, but like EDM is basically just, it literally stands for electronic dance music. Like,
you can do
all kinds of fucking random shit with it. So, you know, I think it's just going to be the same for a long time until the next new thing comes out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like the youths, the Gen Zs, the current, whatever you want to call them, youths are having much less sex and getting way less drunk than we did in our 20s. So that's just
for
facts.
sure, man.
I mean, well, they say you always rebel against your parents, and you know that's why Gen X was so punk rock, and then millennials were like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna get drunk and high." And now these kids are better, just gonna, you know, like used to be that you spent your 20s just like kind of, that's just a blacked out decade. And now for the youth, they're like, no, I'm going to be like fit and mentally healthy in my 20s. And you know, really? That's what you want to do? Like, okay, sure.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
honestly, though, that's our generation too.
Well, I'm a little older than y'all.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, man. But like our time frame, like our early like our late teens, so like 18, 19 years old era was when EDM was like at its peak. Yeah. Like big name raves like every weekend. I mean, I remember it because I worked security back then, so I worked all those fucking raves and events. And it's just so different how, like, when you see the scene now, it's so different than where it was back then. It still exists. It still exists, and Vito's right. It's going to exist for forever.
Well, and nothing because ever dies. I mean, there's people still making disco and folk rock in the modern age. I mean, you still find
it's just not going to be. It's just not going to be like this decade's top music. You know, this decade's top music is going to be. K-pop. I think it's going to be more along the ideas of pop music and like shitty rap music. I think, you know, because the SoundCloud era started in like 2016 and that shit is garbage, but that scene's already on its way out.
The musical stylings of 2021 is mumble rap. Huh? Is that what you're telling me?
I think that mumble rap is already on its decline for sure.
Answer a question
because
for me,
that
Christian.
music is fucking shitty, man. It's so garbage. What's up?
Why is it that if you are the kind of person who insists on playing your music at full volume in public spaces, that you have the absolute worst taste in music? Why is it always like the worst hip hop? Like, I'm fine with hip hop. I like hip hop just fine, but a lot of it is trash. And like this stuff is just the worst. And it's like,
I think that rap music is the most saturated bullshit market. I think rap music is god awful right now. There's a lot of like hidden gems and a lot of great rap music right now, but man, most of what is popular is so terrible, man. It's terrible. Drake makes horrible fucking music, and it's too bad because that guy started out, you know, as like an R&B singer that could like, you know, rap every now and then.
He started
and
out
he
as a
put out
wheelchaired middle school kid on Degrassi, man. But carrying
like his first like 3 studio albums, or like first, I think it was like 5. I would say like first 4 albums, all really good. But then, you know, the thing that like these stars get is they start off hungry, they make good shit, and then they get whatever they want, and then they just put out bullshit, and they're okay with it because they're going to get money no matter what. Look at Kendrick Lamar. His first 2 albums are fucking awesome, and everything after his first 2 albums has been fucking terrible.
I mean, doesn't that happen to every band, though? You know?
Like, people who sit there and say that Kendrick Lamar is a good rapper right now are out of their fucking mind. That his new album was so terrible. I listened to it, you know, because if I'm going to criticize somebody's music, I have to listen to it. So I'll put myself through it. I'll listen to it, and I'll voice my opinions, man. He's terrible. And out of that whole group of rappers that he got popular with TDE, and he came in with, you know, J-Rock, Ab-Soul, Isaiah Rashad, all those guys are better rappers than he is. And they've put out countless amazing albums. Schoolboy Q is another one. It's just like, you know, these guys are putting out good albums because Kendrick Lamar took all the fame. So he takes the fame, he puts out bullshit, people talk about it, people say it's incredible, and then these guys get forgotten. And so they keep putting out good albums that get swept under the rug, and nobody talks about them. Like, in my honest opinion, Kendrick Lamar is the worst rapper out of all those guys.
Oh, damn.
But back then, he put out, you know, Good Kid, Mad City, which is literally a perfect album. You can listen to it from, you know, start to finish in one sitting and be completely, you know, satisfied and happy with it. It's an incredible album, perfect album. But everything after that, garbage, terrible.
I will admit I've never heard a Drake track or a Kendrick Lamar track in my life.
Well, fuck me. Don't listen to any of their new music, man. Go back and listen to their shit from like 2010, 2013. Oh. Listen to that era of them, and you can really see the difference in music.
But see, that's 10 years ago at this point.
I'll say the same thing at this point too. It's like, you know what? I don't know. It's just tough to talk about local dudes like this, but you know, like when Macklemore first came around, his first album was really good, but then he's a pompous douchebag. And he's like a notable douchebag. He's an asshole. Oh. And he put out like that fucking Heist album. And personally, I can tell you that there is not one good song on that fucking album. It's terrible.
Come on. Cowboy Boots was like my anthem in my 20s, man. That was so my life.
You're out of your mind, man. That album was so fucking
You're
bad.
Crazy. You didn't like the song about the eagle pissing on everybody?
No.
I like it when he's goofy. You know, I like when he does his Bowie impression.
Yeah, I mean, he can be goofy. That's, you know, it's a persona of his, but at the same time, I think that his music dwindled and you know, he became like a family man, so he's a different dude than who he was, you know, back in early 2010s. But I mean, God, that guy's music is terrible. I can't stand it.
That one? I like Macklemore just fine. What's that one track he had? Oh my God, what the fuck is the name of it? It was pre-Heist. It was about being a heroin addict. What the fuck is the name of that song? Because that was a good song. I can picture the video. I think it was featuring some dude named Fences. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of this track, but it was a good song.
Was that the one about codeine?
Yes.
The Other Side or whatever? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that track.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I think that the reason why he was so popular is because of Ryan Lewis. And I would compare Ryan Lewis to who's that dude on that Bruno Mars fucking track? God, what's his name? He's a producer, and I'm just like completely forgetting his name. but he did the Uptown Funk.
Okay.
That dude, whatever his name is, I compare him to him, where it's like if you have a really good producer and you have somebody that knows like the market really well, who studies it and knows what's going to be popular at that time, that's Ryan Lewis. Ryan Lewis knew exactly what was going to make Macklemore like fucking super popular.
You got to give Macklemore credit for putting Ryan Lewis's name on all his shit. Like, you know.
No, you got to. I mean, that's huge. You got to do that. I mean, it would be so tragic if you didn't give Ryan Lewis any credit.
Yeah.
But I would say that the secret to Macklemore's success was having Ryan Lewis in his corner. It's not a bad thing. It's not a knock on Macklemore. Yeah. You know, it's not saying that he's not talented. He was one of the biggest stars of his time, and you know, obviously now he's not so popular. But I just didn't. I think that he put out good music, and then The Heist was like the music to make him the most popular person at the time.
I mean,
and then
Thrift Shop was everywhere for a while.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then now it's now his style is kind of dead. Unfortunately,
I haven't heard
that
anything
style
from
is
him in a long
dead.
time.
Yeah,
I'm sure I've told you this as well, but I have a personal connection to that album. The Same Love video?
Yep.
There's a scene with a kid in a Boy Scouts uniform. Mm-hmm. Ara sold that Boy Scouts uniform to Macklemore on our eBay store.
Oh, damn.
True story. Yep. So that thing's been in my house.
One of my high school teachers was in that music video.
I mean, he filmed all of those around here till before he got too popular. He couldn't even do it. Like when they tried to do the one at the Dick's, and it was just like the entire city showed up at the Dick's. It was a White Walls or whatever. And so he's like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it in Spokane now." Oh, true stories. Speaking of hip-hop,
I think
I have to say I liked Kanye. I liked Late Registration,
Kanye.
Early and Graduation. Those were good albums.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Before he lost his fucking mind. I mean, I don't want to talk shit. I know he's bipolar, and I know it manifests itself in his late 30s, and he's very clearly undiagnosed bipolar. Well, I think he's diagnosed at this point, but like he's very public meltdowns, you know?
Yeah, that dude is a fucking musical genius, man. It's just crazy. Yeah. Like the music that he was putting out back then was incredible. I mean, I could talk about it for fucking days. It was good. It's been a while since I've had like a in-depth conversation about music, so it's pretty nice to talk about it now. But yeah, man, I mean, I'll have to say that, and it's funny because this whole conversation, like the whole half hour that we just spent talking about music, stemmed from my late wormhole of Unplugged concerts. But I will say this, man. I think that when I think about music now, it's weird to think that I can't really name too many new artists from who's going to be the new big things. Like, what's the new big style of music? If I think the next style of music, if I were to take a guess, I would say that the next big style of music that's going to hit us by storm is like that alternative pop music.
Are you talking like bedroom pop? Is that what you're referencing?
Probably. I don't know. God, I'm trying to think of an example.
Like Billie Eilish is the quintessential bedroom pop.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Music like that is going to be the next. I think that's like the next big wave of music. That Australian girl, Benny or whatever her name is, she's going to be super popular. Music like that is going to fucking blow up.
The only reason I know about this is because we were doing a Secret Santa, and like my stepbrother's girlfriend was like, "Hey, I want vinyl by bedroom pop artists." I'm like, "What the fuck is bedroom pop?" So I looked it up. It's underground pop. It's okay. Indie pop.
I'm looking it up right now as we speak. I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, bedroom pop. the first things that pop up is like lo-fi shit. So like lo-fi is super popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, music that you can study to.
Yes.
Fucking
That little
A.
anime kid, yeah. I'm familiar.
But yeah, that's the next thing to hit the waves. Not that it's a problem. I mean, I have no problem with it, but that's like the next big thing is bedroom pop. Because I can't think of a rock band right now from like recently. The only thing I could think of is like Southern rock. Southern rock is still alive, and it's
Isn't that just
right
country?
No. It's a whole different thing because, like, you wouldn't say that Lynyrd Skynyrd's country music.
That's true.
You know? And there's a lot of really good Southern rock bands right now. The best one for sure is Whiskey Myre. They're like my favorite like Southern rock band at the moment. And then favorite country band is Midland. And they put out a new album that was fucking amazing. And a documentary, which is good. If you're curious about them, check it out because it was amazing. It was a great documentary. But yeah, man, God, I love talking about music. Holy shit. We haven't done this in a long time.
I got to make fun of Lynyrd Skynyrd for a second. Lynyrd Skynyrd wanted to write a song about how great Alabama was to protest Neil Young. And like one of the first things they could come up with that's great about Alabama is that the sky is blue there. Really? That's the best thing. The sky's blue everywhere, buddy. Try harder. Oh.
Where the skies are so blue.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Hour, 15 minutes. We should wrap this up.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Pretty good episode here, boys.
It's been a while. To quote Stade, I looked it up. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mother in the chat.
That's my only contribution to the show today.
Oh, we talked about other stuff. You were on there. You talked about how doctors aren't paid enough or whatever hot take is going to be extracted from this episode. All right.
Yeah, we're going to the Husky game on. We're going to the Husky game on Saturday, so I guess
it's less that doctors aren't paid enough and more they're paid in the wrong ways. So like doctors that are doing like good things, but it just happens to not be like the most paid thing. So they don't get paid as much, but they went into just as much debt as the same other people. All that kind of stuff.
Here I was thinking you were implying that instead of money, you should pay for your medical care and blowjobs.
I mean,
all right.
If you're gonna put it that way,
they're not getting paid the right way. Yeah, exactly. That's a great place to cut it.
I mean, like the main problem there is like all the insurance problems and shit. It fucks over the providers just about as much as it fucks over the people.
I mean, the fact that you can have an entire 4-year degree in hospital administration, as in how to deal with insurance companies, should really tell you everything is wrong with the way that we deal with medical care. But okay, didn't you have to go through a whole quarter on just insurance codes just to be an MA?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even really I'm sure you're not doing most of the paperwork, right? Like,
I literally don't deal with it at all now.
Exactly. So, okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. This has been episode 121 of the Beefy Bois Bud Club, and we will see you knuckleheads soon.
You just wait till we get to episode 151. Then where we drink a pint of 151 each.
Yeah, right. Pint, just like a straight pint. Yeah, right.
Just a straight pint. Light it on fire first. Drink it through a straw.